Enkasa TV na TV for many kusu amuhwe na meso say ne dey na hwa Enkasa TV a obe subscribe to our YouTube channel Enkasa TV. Na any day dey e won say eye Wontumi na ho nsensem na na chese TV for egu apono so chese ye twen abasane esre. Na any day dey eye Martin Pebu ne nkrofu bi etimi atena se etimi de nsem bi ere atudwa a chese omu chirim se eye chese kwa dupa chese etimi de abo eye chairman Wontumi eye Ashanti regional chairman say me no oda so gusu ehye eye Ecco akache paade a eti for saate no intimi ere embeto idwa eye yenka se meto dwa but eye rumor je say ensema say atesem say ni na mfamam such as oye je say otugala say ni je say money laundering ni je say ade je say ede atototo no so na eti for wonu say eye Ecco chairman eye Raymond Acha ena eye Martin Pebu etimidi ensem ede egu akom se enka obi a oye eyisaje enka wasenka woma communication ede edi wanim nanso ensem pa je se emfa eye chairman Wontumi ntia still amode ehye eye Ecco akachi de no official outcome bia official member bia ntimi ba abonten entimi embe communicating kire eye members ne say e say na ede kwa bia ede etimi abo chairman Wontumi a still chairman Wontumi eda so she eye Ecco akachi ntetefo ensem bibiri na ne Martin Pebu ene tese ne honkani a tese mka se ni nkofo so na mutena se ede etwen komo no ensem bibiri na na ero getu dwa nti mese ebre se akoche ensem twem na here abasi a meso se obeje brani akwa abasi ha ya Enkasa TV me do dwa so nya bre ehwe
on Neat FM commending Ecco for doing a professional job. And that was that very night that Ecco admitted him to bail. It's just that he's not been able to meet the conditions yet. Yes, so I heard Lawyer Pierre Kubi commending Ecco. And for me, that was heartwarming because you know how lawyers generally, we are distrustful of state institutions. And when it comes to bail, the arm twisting, etc. But he was very clear that Ecco had been very professional. And I'll say, commending them. That was what he said. Yeah, so we should, put that on record too and see how that trajectory has played out, right? Now, so once he said it was good, they had been admitted to bail, then it stands to reason that all of their efforts were to be channeled in getting or in meeting the conditions of the bail. So it means that, all the party sympathizers, the contractors, etc. If you didn't want one person to overexpose himself, the bail condition, it doesn't say that only one person should provide the 50 million. So presumably you can even get 50 people whose properties are worth 1 million each, right? And if you add them, you get 50, of course. But if there are 50 people, the verification will be more tedious. Because, you see, another point we should notice that the bail conditions, they said to be justified. So in law, when we use the word to be justified, you are admitted to 50 million Ghana cedis bail to be justified. That means that those coming to sign the bail bond must prove that they have the properties. As I said, there's no rule that it must be only one person, and there's no rule that each person, if you are bringing 10, they should all be 10 million each. No, any proportion. But the main thing is that those persons coming must prove. So either nowadays they accept investments in bank, okay, treasury bills, etc. But of course, subject to certain conditions. We can't go into all of that, but you're allowed to use the investment because they do. I've seen some involved in cases in the past, right? But usually the popular security that we use is immovable property. That is a house, bare land, etc. Right? So immovable security. So that one is there constant. But they would have to go and verify at the Lands Commission, and that takes time. Yeah. So I have mentioned that we need to modernize Lands Commission. This digitalization, etc., make it faster, so that even when he was admitted to bail 11 to 12 p.m. on Tuesday night, then Ecco would have sat in their offices, then went onto the Lands Commission database to check the sureties you've brought, are their properties registered, etc. Then they could have executed. But you see, Lands Commission is not yet there. Ecco is not linked to Lands Commission. And by extension, all the law enforcement agencies, we hope it gets there so that you do an online search and then, boom, you are done, right? So that is one thing. One key thing we are learning from this whole process is the law reform. 2 weeks ago, I mentioned house arrest. We've been talking about it. The last time I heard house arrest in Ghana, it was in respect of Atimbila, is it DCOP at the time, also the police chief. Yes, it was his case that he was given house arrest. Then they said it on radio that, okay, he's been given house arrest. Let's make it more accessible to all citizens, right? More citizens. So when they do the house arrest, I don't think he's there. So it's not just you stay in your house. They'll put a tracker on your hand or ankle, and then it will be monitored from the state institution involved, the law enforcement agency. So there will be conditions that you can't go out of your gate. If you go towards your gate, you touch your gate or something, then there will be an alarm. It will blow. They will come for you. So it's something, and you see, it's not just curious. It's a bit painful that we've learned to put trackers in vehicles, cars, so that renters can go on. But when it comes to our personal liberties, we don't care. We are still using 1960 laws. Why wouldn't this happen? You see, so we need to modernize the law. That's the key thing we should be learning. Because you see how embarrassing it was. Yesterday, Baumia went there. He was now crying that they had made prior arrangements. But when they got there, they couldn't see the authorities. I said, aha, you see, when you were in office, you didn't care. If you had modernized the law, today you would not be crying. Because he said they had made prior arrangements, meaning that before he came there, calls had been made. And perhaps some assurances had been given that he will meet Remonacha. In social media, they are now calling him last killer. You know, that's just by the way. So today you have Baumia crying because he didn't modernize the law. It's a lesson to all of us.
I see.
That's the defect in jurisprudence called the starkness of the law. The starkness of the law must be cured by the rule of change, as Professor Hart said.
I will pass the bar by the time we are done today.
But so then one other key thing is that let's be careful. I've heard people making arguments that the 50 million is unreasonable. The 50 million is unreasonable. And I've heard lawyers say so. Okay. And even before we go into Wontumi, do you see one very conspicuously missing fact? What are the details of the charges? Do you know how much is involved? And I've heard lawyers who are supposed to be seniors at the bar say it's unreasonable, What have you used to measure? Have you heard the facts? Have you heard? You see, one thing that Ecco too must learn from, you see, all these charges of unreasonableness, etc., it's also showing that Ecco hasn't managed the process well. Let's be very, fair.
How so?
Yes, they should have come out with the facts by now. And Mr. Acha is a journalist, okay? Maybe from here we'll be prompting him.
Raymond Acha.
Yes. He's a journalist. You know information flow. If you are taking somebody like Wontumi, he has a lot of following. So put out those allegations. Yes. Look, there's no rule that says
but there are those who have argued that Ecco does not owe us a public statement.
No, that is absolutely
on what they are doing.
That's anybody who says so is absolutely wrong. Governance runs on information. You can't say that it's not anybody's private property. Then you don't even know what you're about. So
as an intelligence.
No, intelligence agencies give information. It depends. You manage it. You see, what was brought out later by Dr. ßreak, yes, but it was late. You see, and especially as Mr. Acha is a journalist, so you should have known that our society thrives on information free flow. So bring out, if you are to say that he is involved in tax fraud involving 1 billion Ghana cedis, that doesn't change anything. Well, the fact that has been put out there change the investigations. It's your sources and how you are gathering the evidence that you don't put out. But if the allegation is that somebody's brought you a petition that is involved in tax fraud, 1 billion Ghana cedis, I hear on the grapevine to things like he has bought a lot of stolen vehicles. Okay,
that is why maybe the deputy AG came out.
No, but he didn't put facts enough to.
Detailed facts.
You see, they are saying that the 50 million is unreasonable. So we should say the tax fraud involves
this amount and that.
That doesn't change.
I mean, but at this point, we cannot take any of those things that are going around on social media. We don't have the information.
No, it's
we don't know the detail. No. The issues about stolen cars and all that. We don't know. We don't know.
I said grapevine.
I don't know, we can't do grapevine.
So I've heard, yes, so you see, so even that one, yes, I'll take it back, sure, not a problem. But you see, when you do this, then you're going to bring a lot of unnecessary trouble. So I think the authorities should learn from this. This is basic. Bring out, there is nothing that is, what do you call it, esoteric about stating that the tax fraud involves 1 billion, this and this, the money laundering involves it. That's all. It's the sources. Where are you getting your sources? How you are gathering the intelligence? That's why you don't reveal. But there's nothing wrong with the bringing the headlines. That's the cause of all of these problems. So because I've been saying I'll restrain myself, so all the interviews are granted. I said no, I would wait because I haven't heard. But as I kept waiting, I said no, I think there's something wrong. The more the citizens are charging and this thing is going on, then it means that there's something